tax they don't want to increase, and they have just automatically increased that tax on fuel. But when does this possibly have a negative impact on the fracking boom in our own country, so that we not only could be a supplier of oil for the free world and not have to worry about the Middle East and shaky countries like in Africa, or count on the oil coming in from Venezuela, if it gets to be so expensive that fracking is not profitable for the people who do it? That is a serious problem. It could result in a loss of jobs. And I'm not begging here. You know me, I've been going after the oil industry for years and years and years. But there does reach a point, and again, oil and gas expert Adam Cooper has joined us again today on the Tom Marr Show. And Mr. Cooper, if I can call you Adam, would that be all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you can call me Tom. How's that?
Sounds good.
All right. Now, when do we reach the point where we should get a little concerned about the drop in the price of a barrel of oil on the negative impact it could have toward the U.S. becoming totally independent on and using our own oil?
Well, there's a couple of different numbers that you can take in and look at. So, really, at $81 a barrel, which we're at $64, $65 a barrel right now currently, at $81 a barrel, we actually are able to move forward with trying to become energy independent. We are actually on the verge of being able to do that. Our goal was 2020, and with the way things have been going, we could have reached that by 2018. So as the price of oil has dropped, it has put a lot of things on hold that we're trying to accomplish. We can produce oil for as cheap as $53 a barrel or even cheaper. Some places you can produce it for $10, $20, $30 a barrel. However, in the industry, the number's roughly around $50 to $53 a barrel.
Okay.
Where it really becomes profitable to produce the oil.
So you're saying if we produce it at $53 a barrel, even with the fracking, we'll be successful?
Yes and no. So we can produce it. The jobs that have already, the wells that have already been drilled, can produce oil like in Eagle Ford, the Permian Basin, places like that.
Okay.
We can produce it as low as $53 a barrel. However, to really move towards the energy independence that we seek in the country, we need to be somewhere around $80 a barrel.
All right. Now, if you could, Adam, tell our listeners what that would be. I still don't know why. I have an old car that only take a high test, and that doesn't seem to be coming down much at all. But tell our listeners what that $80 a barrel per gallon might work out to be. Can you figure? Do you have that in your oil expert head?
Yeah, you're probably somewhere around $3 a barrel, and
$3 a gallon.
Right. And
okay,
so
you said barrel.
You're looking at the oil industry as the barrel price goes down. You don't always see it automatically reflect that at the pump. Now, as barrel has gone down, it's taken a while for it to catch up, and it's just now starting to catch up with what's been going on in the industry now for the past few months. In July, we were over $100 a barrel. Now we're at $64 a barrel. So that's been a massive drop that has taken a very long time to actually play out at the pump.
Well, it doesn't seem, it seems like overnight they can jack the price up if they want to. And
absolutely.
I don't think that's very fair. And then we have the oil that they already have in the great big tanks outside the service stations. Even if they get that cheaper, and then it would go up, they're not going to let you have it for that cheaper price. So that's why I've always had kind of a little distrustful attitudes towards them. And another thing, if I'm not mistaken, Adam, here, is that many consumers fail to realize the enormous amount of taxation that goes into a gallon of gasoline.
Absolutely. It just, like I'm from Oklahoma. So in Oklahoma City right now, gas is $2 or less.
That's right.
Where you guys are at, it's what, $2.80?
Oh no, it's not. It's still over. It's about $2.90, maybe
Wow.
Yeah. Gary paid $271. If he'd gone over to New Jersey, he probably could even got it cheaper. But we have managed to have our legislature give us some of the highest gasoline taxes in the country, and eventually we'll get that.
That's yeah. I mean, it's going to take a lot longer for you guys to see the benefits of what's going on right now. And although it's a benefit for the everyday consumer, it is hurting the industry as a whole. And so what has happened, though, is with OPEC, they're producing over their limit, which is they set a self-limit, basically, that is 30 million barrels a day. And OPEC saw that the United States was going towards their energy independence and saw that we were going to do it faster than what anybody thought we could. So with that, they decided that they were going to increase their own production. And instead of keeping at their 30 million barrels a day, they've actually increased it above that, flood the market with cheap oil, which is going to affect many small and medium-sized businesses in the United States.
Yeah. Now, that has been done on purpose to try to teach us a lesson?
In a way, yes. I mean, they are trying to make sure that we continue to rely on them for portions of our oil consumption. So as long as we are not energy independent, they have a role in what we're doing, and we are supplying them with a large portion of their economy. So we are one of the largest, if not the largest, in the world consumer of oil and gas products. I think we're 20% of all oil and gas consumption, 25% of all oil and gas consumption in the world.
Yeah, maybe someday we can get away from them, but wouldn't it be good for the world if we became instead of counting on the Middle East and shaky places in Africa and Venezuela, if the United States, with its ships down in Texas and Louisiana, would be able to assure people like in Europe and other areas that, look, we're sending the oil, you don't have to worry about it because we are a stable country, and you're not going to have all these ups and downs like you do out of the Middle East and the African countries and places like that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we could definitely stabilize the region, and if we were allowed to export the oil the way every other country is allowed to, and we would put a tax on the imports of oil, then we would actually become one of the world's largest in the oil and gas industry. I mean, we can not only provide for ourselves, but we can become a major player in oil and gas, and we have been becoming a major player.
We lead the world in natural gas, and I tell you what, we could take a little starch out of Putin's sails if we could tell the Ukrainian people, don't worry, we got it coming your way.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's unbelievable that we're not doing that. But we could definitely stabilize the market to where we could reduce down costs by injecting things like automation and the pipelines and things like that into the oil and gas industry here in the United States. And if we will back that, we can lower costs for us to produce it here, and therefore allow us to actually start exporting.
That would be great and provide a lot of jobs. I'm afraid we're going to lose you if I don't let you go right now. That's how it goes with our Fox guests. But it's been terrific having you and giving us a little more insight into all that's going on. And thanks for being with us today. And what a tremendous feeling it would be. Even if, and again in Maryland, we're paying an unconscionable amount.